And we are live. Hi, guys, it's Carrie. I am answering a request in doing this video today. I've used the name Full Tilt for a very long time, almost 30, 32, 33 years, something like that. And I wanted to explain where it came from. So originally, after I had graduated high school, I jumped on a motorcycle and went out to Aspen, Colorado for a year where I lived and I worked for the ski company. Came back, went to the University of Michigan. But for a long time, and after I graduated from the University of Michigan, for a long time, I got rid of a car altogether and all I had was motorcycles. And I moved out to California and started to work for motorcycle magazines, Motorcyclist, Sport Rider, and a few others that I worked with. And for 10 years, I only had motorcycles. I didn't have cars. I didn't have other forms of transportation. I was using motorcycles all the time. And motorcycles are, especially if they're ridden well, and I like performance motorcycles, are pretty amazing vehicles to use. And because we were on bikes and testing bikes all the time, when I was working at the motorcycle magazine, I'd have this garage filled with the latest, greatest machines and bikes, the most exciting ones out there. And you could just go sign your name on the whiteboard, take the key, grab the company gas credit card, and head out and have adventures. And so needless to say, especially when there's a group of us who are all fairly good riders who would sometimes test motorcycles on tracks, do top speed testing, go to the drag strip, do drag strip testing, we would travel at a pretty good velocity, therefore full tilt. But also tilt comes into play when you're talking about accelerating hard and doing wheelies and keeping those wheelies going for a while. That's a form of tilting, as is ending up on your nose, doing stoppies, where you kind of roll the bike onto its front wheel and slide it along. And then, of course, there's leaning over. So when you're on a motorcycle, on a track or on a canyon road, you're tilting both ways. So the full tilt really sprang from that. And I had a license plate, a little custom license plate, FullTilt, which I let go of a long time ago. So I don't have a bike currently registered in California. But that's one thing that kind of catalyzed this whole Full Tilt name. As time went on, it became pretty clear that that's also an approach to life. Just hitting it hard, going full tilt. If you're doing something, jump in and actually do it. If you're running with your buddies and the ocean is right there and someone says, hey, let's jump in the ocean, I'll be like, if you're in, I'm in, let's go. We'll go jump in the ocean. This great virtual race across Tennessee that I'm currently engaged in, this 4-month virtual race. The original goal was to run 635 miles. And then I thought, okay, I can do that once within 4 months. That's averages out to 5 miles a day over 123 days. But if I do a little over 10 miles a day, then I do the double. And now I'm ahead. So I think, well, maybe the triple's within range. The triple is 1,905 miles. And I'm scheduled to finish that probably within a week, actually. And that'll give me another week to do what my ultimate goal is. Because again, full tilt, got to move things forward a little bit more, go hit it just that little bit harder. So I think, okay, if I can get 2,020 miles in the year 2020 over 4 months, that will be a considerable achievement in my mind. That'll be the triple crossing and some extra 2020 in 2020. So that's another example of doing things full tilt. Another thing I like, and I encourage people to do this all the time, is this philosophy of saying yes to things. So if someone comes up to me and says, hey, some of these things you do are really cool. I'd love to go jump into a canyon. I want to get involved with the work you do, this team building training, leadership development, and speaking. I want to go swing dancing with you. I want to try acrobatics. I want to try all this kind of stuff that I'll go out and do, or climb the mountain. I will recognize that and I will ask them. And I'll say, look, if you want to do this, come approach me. I go all the time. This has happened a few times recently out running, where I'm running around Vancouver and someone will recognize me from a video or has seen me somewhere. And in other words, they see me from somewhere and they get excited for something like, oh my God, Carrie, I see your thing. I watch your videos. I'm running a half marathon because of you or something like that. And I tell them, look, I'm just a guy who goes out and does the stuff. I like hanging out with people. Call me and we'll go out and do that. And if they follow up, if there's somebody who in effect says yes, guess what? I got a new friend. They've got a connection as well that's hopefully useful. If I reach out to you, if you say, hey, I want to go swing dancing with you, let me know when you go. I'll say, okay, I'll mark it in my head and say, all right, I'm going to ask you when it's time to go. And I'm going on Friday. Would you like to go? Oh, I got something. I can't. Okay, you got something. Next time I'll ask again, hey, I'm going on Sunday. Do you want to come? Oh, I'd like to, but and as soon as I get that, I'd like to, but I'm like, all right, maybe if they're really ask me nicely or, say, oh, I'm so sorry. I really, really, really want to go, but I just couldn't at this time. I might ask once more, but after that, I'm done. I'm not going to go out and ask again. Same with adventure, same with travel, same with climbing. If you say you want to do something and then I say, hey, let's get a chance to go out and do that. And you say yes, you're in. That saying yes is another example of living life full tilt. I've got a buddy who approached me a while back saying, gosh, it's really fascinating to me, all these things you do. He's about my age, family, that sort of thing like me. And he said, how do I start to do some of these things that you do? I'm like, well, I will invite you. And he jumped on board. Like he got on a plane, came out and joined us. We've had a few fantastic adventures now. I consider him a close friend because he has said yes. So the answer is always yes. For me, is if someone comes up and says, hey, do you want to go try this food? We've never had it before. Go to this different place or go on a trail that you have not yet been on. Yes, absolutely. I want to go do that. So if you want to add some mileage on, yes, say yes. That's a good example of a full tilt thing. The other thing just comes into what I will call energy and intensity. Energy is infectious, and I think you can, to some extent, create your own energy almost artificially by pretending. Let's fake it till you make it a little bit, smile, and then eventually you'll feel like you're happier than you were before because you're simply committing to that process. Now, can you get ground down a little bit? Sure. Will you have to deal with that? Sure. But if you are somebody who always has energy, can put that into something, and I've been blessed in one way or another to be able to sustain high level energy on a small amount of sleep for some time. But I think some of that comes from here as well. It's not just the luck of the draw. So energy and intensity, the whole full tilt thing, like, yes, if you're going to do it, do it. If you're going to go jump in the mountain lake that's got snow going into it and it's cold, by God, go jump into the lake. Don't sit there and kind of be wishy-washy about it. Just go get it done, come out, you'll feel fantastic. That brings me to my company, which is Full Tilt Team Development. And the Full Tilt approach is something that I bring into programs or I bring into talks that I do with groups. And I will occasionally need to reassure people, because if you're somebody who's bringing us in Full Tilt Team Development to go and work with your people doing a virtual training or some type of talk on motivation or teamwork or something like that, the thing you want to avoid is to feel like you've brought somebody in who has not met expectations or who has not excited the people who have got them going. So I basically assure them, I'm like, look, they're afraid that 90 minutes is going to be too long. They're going to get bored. And I'll tell them, if we had 4 hours, we still would not have enough time. Don't worry about your people thinking, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. They're going to think that the time goes by real quick because we are moving with velocity throughout the whole process. And again, that's something that a lot of teams are missing, that alacrity, that urgency, that sense of motivation, fun, intensity, that full tilt elixir, if you will. So keep it at that today. A couple quick things. My Instagram, if you want to see like full tilt in real life, there'll be a link in the description of this video. Please do subscribe, suggest it to others who are interested in this type of content. The other thing you can do is reach out to me via LinkedIn professionally, Kerry Ward, KERYWARD. I should be pretty easy to find, located in Vancouver, Canada. If you would subscribe or like this video, give me a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated because that makes a difference in the YouTube algorithms and stuff. And lastly, if you would like to go the extra mile, the full tilt, if you will, you can jump on board the Patreon account, which is direct support for the channel. So if you do that, I will pretty much guarantee you there's more content coming. I've got, looking down my list of content, I've been creating a lot more than I've been editing through recently because of all the miles I've been putting in, some of the adventures I've been doing. But if you jump on board the Patreon account, that's the biggest blessing I could have. And it doesn't need to be anything super significant. If it is, great. If it's not, if it's just, a little bit each month, that's also much appreciated. So I see we got Piper XY, nice shirt. Got this at the Kraftwerk concert. Kraftwerk, great band, one of the original electronic bands, hails from Germany. Started out with a whole series of interesting records. Loved them growing up. Was super excited to be able to go out and see them at the Hollywood Bowl for their show. And yeah, Kraftwerk, man machine. So thanks so much. Full Tilt Lifestyle. If you want to know more about it, reach out, send me a note. If you got suggestions for future Full Tilt Fridays, let me know what you got. Peace out. This is Kerry. I'm going to have a quick sleep, and I'm heading up into the mountains again tomorrow with a little group, including my daughter. Should have a nice video for that at some point. So take care.